Let's take a look at some posters here this afternoon. The first one looks like it could look like my state. It could probably look like the presiding officer's state. It could look like Missouri. It could look like any of the states that our pages are from. But this is a traffic jam, and this is a traffic jam that occurs almost every day, almost every business day, and frankly a lot of weekends in highways across America, from coast to coast. We spend a lot of time sitting in traffic. We spend a lot of time sitting in traffic, and there's actually quite a substantial cost that inures to our nation's economy. The cost is believed to be this year about $160 billion, a hit on a national economy. And I'll talk here in just a second about what that includes. The part of the waste that is reflected in our nation's economy is, you see right here, it says 82 hours wasted in big city traffic. That's per person, per driver, on average, across the country, big cities, people pretty much sitting in traffic. They could be in a minivan, they could be in a small car, a large car, they could be in a truck, but we're talking about 82 hours in a year, just pretty much sitting in traffic. The average across the country, when you take in more rural parts of the country and suburban areas, the average is about 42 hours. That's a whole lot of time. And time is money. So just think about that. Let's see if what we have in another poster here. Here's one with a sense of humor. This is not Delaware. This is not Delaware. I'm not sure where this is. But for those who can't read this, it says, the traffic sign that's up here, it says, "You'll never get to work on time." Ha ha. And there's some kind of construction program. You see the orange cones out there. Someone had a good sense of humor there. My guess it was the folks maybe working on the project had a good sense of humor. My guess is that for a moment it made the drivers smile, but not for long, especially if they sat in traffic long enough. And 82 hours a year, that's long enough. Let's see what's next. Oh, yeah. Not only is it expensive, a waste of time and money for us as individuals to sit in traffic for a long time. Another part of the cost is caused by potholes and other problems with our roads. I think this is probably a bridge. It looks like it might be a bridge, but there's a construction project someplace, and here is a pothole, and that's bad pothole. But in other parts, not so much in Delaware, but I've seen in other states at least that bad and worse. What's going to happen, these vehicles will come along, they'll hit that pothole, and may damage their tires, may have to replace a tire or two, they may have to get their front end realigned, and that costs money. How much? Actually, believe it or not, just like Texas A&M has actually figured out that on average we waste 42 hours a year as drivers of a wide variety of vehicles. Texas A&M comes up with that. Somebody else actually spent the time to figure out how much we spend on our cars, trucks, vans in order to fix them during the course of a year because of potholes like this and other problems with the surface of the roads that we travel on, the surface of the bridges that we travel on, and over $350. I've seen a range of anywhere from $350 per year to $500 per year. And we'll say it's just $350 a year. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And that's part of the cost of the damage to our economy. The other thing I would say, our economy today, as we all know, is a just-in-time economy. And I'll give you a good example. We have a port in Wilmington that's right on the Delaware River. And as you come up the Delaware Bay and it becomes the Delaware River, the port that's closest to the Atlantic Ocean on the Delaware River is the port of Wilmington. And ships are coming in and out of there throughout the day, night, weekend. And the ships don't come in there and spend a week. Ships don't come into the port of Wilmington and spend a day. They may come in for 4 hours, they may come in for 6 hours. But they are there and then they're gone. And because when a ship is sitting, like sitting in the port of Wilmington or any other port, the shipper, whoever owns that boat, that ship, is not making any money. So they want to be in and they want to be out, and that's the way they do their business. And it's important for whoever is coming in, usually by truck, to bring goods to put on that ship to send around the world there may be a very short window of time to get there. And if you're stuck in traffic, the kind of traffic you saw early on, you're stuck in traffic early on, you may miss that window when the ship is in the port, whether it's Wilmington or some other port. So that's another reason why, in a just-in-time economy, why these kinds of delays mean time is money. Let's see what's now, again, someone else with a sense of humor. If you can't read this, looks like a husband and wife driving along in their car, and he says, or his wife saying, "Finally, someone fixed that pothole." And here's the pothole, and there's a car down there, and a guy, a driver, who looks like he's had a bad day, not just a bad hair day, a very bad day, and a little humor there. Not if you happen to be this guy, and frankly, probably not if you happen to be this guy, because if you're running over somebody else's car in a pothole like this, this guy's going to spend a lot more than $350 to fix his car, get it repaired and going again. What do we have next? Let's see. You see all this, we're not making this stuff up. There's a national association, I think it's civil engineers, people who spend their life working on transportation projects. And they have, every year for years, they have given us a grade and what kind of shape our roads, highways, bridges, transit systems are in. And they could give an A plus, A minus. They could give a B plus, B minus. They could give a C, C plus, C minus. Or they could give a D plus, D minus. And the last couple of years, we've been right around D to D plus. D to D plus. I think we're probably going down rather than going up. So I think everybody knows, just about anybody who drives in our country these days knows, we're not investing in our roads, highways, bridges, transit systems the way we need to. Look around the rest of the world, travel around the rest of the world, and you can see in a lot of the countries that we compete against, they do. They do. And one of the components of sort of investments we need to make in our country in order to strengthen our economy, to better ensure the jobs are going to be created or preserved. There's a lot of things we can do. Make sure that businesses have access to capital. Make sure that the cost of energy is affordable. The cost of healthcare is affordable. Make sure that we have public safety. Make sure that the people that are coming out of our schools can read, write, think they have the skills that are needed in the workforce. Another big one is to make sure that we have the ability to move people and goods where they need to go, when they need to go. And here's our current plan. It's pretty well summed up in this sign. It's meant to be funny, and I suppose it is. But I love this. This is part of the plan down here, like, good luck. Good luck. And that ain't a plan. That's not a plan that's going to get us where we need to go as a nation. I think we have one more poster here. Let's just take a look at that. For those who may not be able to read this, there's a big traffic jam, and someone, in fact, a lot of people are saying, you see those little bubbles there, saying, I'd pay to be anywhere but here. I'd pay to be anywhere but here. I believe, I Treasurer of Delaware, studied economics, got an MBA, Treasurer of Delaware when I was 29, had a chance to serve in the House for a while, and then as governor for 8 years, very much involved in the National Governors Association, trying to make sure we're invested in our transportation infrastructure across the country. And in the Senate, last Senate, I'm on the Environment and Public Works Committee, and last Congress, he was privileged to serve as chair of the Senate Subcommittee on Transportation and Infrastructure. So I thought a fair amount about these issues, and I believe that we have for years. If you think about the way we pay for roads, highways, bridges, transit, what we've used for years is a user pay system. The people, the businesses that use our roads, highways, bridges, and transit system, we pay for them. We pay for them. And in some places, we've sort of gotten away from that. And there's an unwillingness to ask people to pay for what they want to use. Everybody wants to have better transportation systems. And there seems to be a reluctance to pay for that. When I was governor of Delaware for 8 years, 3 times I asked for very modest increases, just a couple of cents in the fees for gas and diesel tax. I think out of 3 efforts, we succeeded one time. Not a whole lot was raised, but we cobbled together some other money from other user fees, and we're able to continue to fund transportation funding. Here in the nation, we've had for a number of years a transportation trust fund. Most of the money for that transportation trust fund comes from user fees. And the two primary user fees are gas tax. It's been about 18.3, 18.4 cents since, I think, 1993. And it's been a little bit over 18 cents since 1993. Hasn't changed. The cost of concrete has gone up. The cost of asphalt, it's gone up. The cost of steel, it's gone up. The cost of labor, it's gone up. What hasn't gone up is the user fee we're asking people to pay, to have better roads, highways, bridges, and transit systems. Transit to get people off of our roads, highways, bridges. And because we do that, we can save a lot of money. Our diesel, we have a tax on diesel, federal tax. It's been about 24 cents per gallon. It's been that long at that level since 1993. 1993. And again, concrete, asphalt, steel, labor have all gone up. But we've not changed in 22 years the user fee, if you will, on diesel tax. The money that we collect from gas and diesel tax, it doesn't go to pay for health care. It doesn't go to pay for wars. It doesn't go to pay for agriculture or other things. The money that we collect from these user fees goes to pay for roads, highways, bridges, and to some extent for transit systems to get people off of our roads, highways, bridges, so the rest of us have some extra room to maneuver. I just want to say, I'll go back in time. Thomas Jefferson said a lot of things that are worth remembering. One of the things that my favorite Jefferson quotes is this. Jefferson used to say, if the people know the truth, they won't make a mistake. If the people know the truth, they won't make a mistake. And the truth is, we're not investing in our transportation infrastructure in this country the way our competitors are and the way that we ought to be. And to do so, it doesn't mean we have to raise, like in some places they have like gas taxes and diesel taxes are $4 or $5 a gallon. We don't have that. It's 18 cents and 24 cents for gas and diesel combined. If we had increased them just by the rate of inflation in the past, the gas tax would be not 18 cents, it'd be maybe closer to twice that. Diesel tax wouldn't be 24 cents, it might be closer to twice that. But we haven't changed it. They haven't changed at all. Here's the way we pay for transportation improvements. We don't pay for them. Yeah. We don't raise anything in some cases. And we just simply go out and borrow money from the Transportation Trust Fund borrows money from the federal general fund. And then when the general fund runs out of money, we borrow money from countries around the world, like China and other places, and replenish the general fund, use that to replenish the Transportation Trust Fund. I think that's pretty foolish. Especially to be beholden to the folks in China for our transportation system. That just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Maybe it doesn't to you either. The other things we do, we have these, I call them cats and dogs. Some are sleight of hand. One of the more recent examples, we do something called pension smoothing, where I won't get into how that works, but it's just an awful idea to mess with people, muck with people's pensions in order to be able to provide for road improvements. It doesn't make much sense. Well, another thing we do is we maybe raise like TSA fees when people want to fly, and instead of using that to make our friendly skies safer, we put a little bit of that money in roads, highways, bridges. Or maybe we sell some of the oil we have in our strategic petroleum reserve, and where we paid a lot of money several years ago to buy oil when it was expensive. Now, people think it would be a smart thing to sell that oil out of a strategic reserve when prices are low to help pay for roads, highways, bridges. Remember the old saying, buy high, sell low, or buy low, sell high? Well, this is really buy high and then put that oil in the strategic reserve and then sell low. That's insanity. we can do a lot better than this. And for a number of years, some of us have encouraged us to do what we've been doing for years, to actually be honest and pay for the improvements to our roads, highways, bridges. And that is to raise the user fees. Not all at once, not by $1 or $2 or anything like that, but by 4 cents a year. 4 cents a year starting next year for 4 years. And then after that, index the fees, the taxes on gas and diesel according to the rate of inflation. If we did that, we would have, a combined state and federal user fee, if you will, for gas. I think it would be, at that time, 53 cents. It would be about 53 cents. Compared to what? Compared to pretty much any other developed nation in the world, we would have the lowest. We would have the lowest combined federal and state and local user fee on gas and diesel. The lowest, as far as I can tell. And we can actually double that. We're not going to do that. We could actually double it again. We're not going to do that. From 53 to $1.06 per gallon. Again, I don't suggest we do that. But if we did, we'd still be among the lowest compared to the rest of the world. I'll close with this. Sometimes we say, well, 16 cents, what could I buy with that? You know, if I didn't have to pay 4 years from now an extra 16 cents when I buy a gallon of gas, what would that add up to in a week for the average driver? And I'll tell you, this maybe brings it home. For basically the price of a cup of coffee a week, that is the cost that would be incurred by the average driver. Even after the full increase, the full 4 cents times 4 years, that's what it's worth. That would be the out-of-pocket expense of the average driver. The price of a cup of coffee a week. We saw earlier for some of these charts that people are sitting in traffic for, on average across the country, 42 hours per year. We saw some of the graphics with the pothole here, and we're reminded that the cost of damage to our cars, trucks, vans is anywhere from $350 to some estimates as high as $500. And we're learning that for the price of basically a cup of coffee, to invest that money instead, people can still drink coffee, but to put that in our roads, highways, bridges, and transit systems, we can have a transportation system we can be proud of. And those 4 pennies add up over time, and they add up over the next 10 years to $220 billion to invest, to have for investments. So instead of having roads with potholes that look like the one that I saw, and the kind of traffic jams that we saw here from coast to coast, we can have a transportation system that we can be proud of again in this country. We just have to have the will to do it, the will to do it. And again, Thomas Jefferson reminded us that things are worth having, they're worth paying for. And if the people know the truth, they won't make a mistake. Roads, highways, bridges, transit, that's worth paying for. And the truth is, it doesn't have to break us. It doesn't have to break our banks or our budgets. And we can have those roads, highways, bridges, again, that we can be proud of. I hope we'll do that.